All right, dude, we're gonna take a look at your Boudoir ad here. See if there's any mistakes, see what we can improve on. If it's not bringing in enough bookends, enough of the right people, too many peeps ghosting, price hunters, things like that. And stuff I'll be talking about today is the exact things I've already done for other Boudoir ads. Where I kind of found some ads out there, took them on my own, tested them, kind of as they were, and then implemented these fixes I'm going to talk about in this video. And basically, I average getting like 2 to 4x the amount of people engaging with the ad, consuming the ad copy, and consuming our offer because we do want to have it there. And these people are they're more specific. Um, so normally that's basically a better qualified client, normally higher converting. So, bringing in 2 to 4x of more specific people with the same ad spend. So yeah, that's all kind of reference frame that'll be looking at this ad from. All right, so at the top 10 most common mistakes I see boudoir photographers making with their Facebook and IG ads. So the first one is, does it look like an ad? So, imagine they're scrolling their feed, and to look at this, we look at the creative. So the image or video. Basically, I'm looking, does it have text on it? Because that makes it look more like an ad. And so you've got a video here. Okay, got it. All right, you're only running this on IG. All right, so yeah, this makes it look like an ad, which kind of turns on like, banner blindness, ad blindness. People don't want to be sold to. They scroll through fast. So this is a mistake. So this is getting less people to consume our ad, less people to see our offer, and like if less people see our offer, most likely we're gonna have less sales. Because if everyone knew about our offer, we'd probably have more sales, right? All right, so that's mistake one. Now mistakes 2 through 5, we look up here in the See More headline. It's just the first 2 3/4 lines, and then that third line is always chopped off the last 1/4 with a dot 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 see more for people to, well, on Facebook newsfeed placement, which is where we test everything to start out, for them to click and read the rest of the ad copy. So what do we want to have up here is a who. Like, who are we speaking to? What is a self-label that they would see and be like, oh my gosh, that's me? Because remember, like, they're scrolling fast. They honestly don't even, their brain doesn't register this, what I highlighted up there until they're like here. And if, you know, well, their subconscious doesn't even register it. But once it does, when they're here, then they scroll back up if there were words in there that were relevant to them. So we're missing out the who. So, you know, like a self label. So, we're going to have less people, we're going to have more people scrolling by. So less people engage with the ad, less people feeling the ads for them, less people clicking through, becoming pre-qualified, buying, booking calls, more ghosting, um, all that garbage. All right. Then the second thing we want to see more headline is a negative. So what negative situation are people moving away from that our end of year boudoir special can be like kind of a bridge for them, that solution for them. And we always, always, always start out with the negative first because humans move away from pain at literally like 100x, 100 times more than they move towards pleasure. Humans would actually rather be like kind of neutral and do nothing instead of sitting in pain. Um, and neutral and do nothing, like not move towards pleasure, kind of just sit and do nothing. And so we know this because we know the negative is way, way, way more powerful to get someone to take action. Because, think of going to the dentist. All right, so we finished our 6 month kind of cleaning. We paid. All right, then the front secretary ladies are like, hey, are you free 19 Fridays from now at 7:45 a.m.? And we're like, man, I ain't got no clue. Um, Text me closer to that date. I have no idea. And so Yeah, they're hitting us up month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6 to put something on the calendar. We're ignoring it. You know, the we're busy. The pleasure of getting a little bit cleaner teeth is it's not large enough for us to take action and put it on our calendar and actually get it done. And so then we go, month 8, month 9, month 10, we're still ignoring their texts until like, a year and a half later, we're eating and we're having tooth pain with every bite. And like it's annoying, it's painful to eat. And so, we're calling them up instantly, being like, what do you mean you can't get me in tomorrow at 7:45 a.m.? What do you mean you're booked out the next 3 weeks? My tooth's killing me right now. So then you got to go, talk with other dentists to get in, people that got a more open schedule, and get that, whatever cavity fixed, whatever it is. But it was the negative experiences, tooth pain whenever eating, and kind of throbbing when sitting around not eating, um, that made us finally get up, taking action just to get back to baseline normal. Just get me back to baseline normal, back to who I was. I don't want to be in pain anymore. So humans always move away from pain at 100x more than they move towards pleasure. That's why we want to lead with a negative. So we don't have a negative here, which means we're less specific. Less women that are scrolling through are going to come back up to consume the rest of our see more headline, the first 2 3/4 lines there, and then click see more and read the rest of our body copy. So less are seeing our full offer, less are getting qualified, which means, we're going to have fewer qualified conversations, more people ghosting, more dead conversations, more price hunters, more what's the price, more ghosting, fewer book calls, fewer sales. Next thing we want to have is a positive. What is a positive that women are saying in their brains, in our city, in our market, that that they're saying that they want, that we can put in here and actually get them to, actually be relevant to them. So when they're scrolling by fast, they do come up and read it. So we're missing a positive. So we're really missing out on the negative positive tension in the brain from having a negative and a positive. And again, kind of same issues as us, missing the negative. Fewer people engaging, fewer people reading this, fewer qualified conversations, more wasted time, more wasted effort. And the final thing we want to have in the See More headline is a hesitation or a roadblock. What is someone saying in their brain that is stopping them from moving forward with other boudoir photographers in our city? And we can basically say like, you ain't got to do this or deal with this. So we're missing that, which means we're really missing the tension trifecta, or the tension triangle of the negative, the positive, and the hesitation slash roadblock that really gets us super specific, where we're kind of like the only option for them because we got so specific talking to their actual conversation in their head and like what they want and what they don't want and what they're concerned about. So yeah, less people consuming our ad copy. And actually I was wrong about something. Celebrate your glow, capture your power. All right, you know what? Those can be positives. So we're missing the who, we're missing negative. Yeah, I'll give you the positives here. Basically, is a woman in your city saying to herself, I want to celebrate my glow, I want to capture my power. Yeah, it's definitely better, a much better way to write this for social media psychology. But all right, I'll give you the positive there. So missing the who, we missing the who, missing the negative. We got the positive. We're missing the hesitation slash roadblock. All right, so we got something there. And if you're wondering, end of your boudoir special, that specific attribute is simply solution. That's our solution. End of your boudoir special. So it's not a positive. It's actually a solution. So, all right, so that's where the first 5 mistakes can happen total. Now, the next 3 mistakes can happen here in the body copy. So, our first 2 3/4 lines on mobile is basically our, it's the See More headline. It's the headline before the See More. So, where 80% of marketing spend is won or lost. So that's why I focus on it super heavy. And that's basically kind of our hook one. Now, once they click to read it, to open the body copy, we got to have a hook two, a reason for why they should listen to us and keep reading. So this is an authority piece. So we want to have an authority piece. Like at the beginning of this video, I showed my results with real Boudoir ads out in the marketplace, showing how I actually did fix the mistakes and improve them, showed that data to give. That's my reason why you should listen to me and for you to watch this video. So we're missing an authority piece here. So this season, step into the soft light and make magic. Make magic. That could be a positive, which could be something to move up into the See More headline if it tests good, because we got to test to make sure these things test good. So we're missing the authority. So we're gonna have less people consuming the rest of the ad copy, even though it is, kind of short. But less people getting pre-qualified. So fewer qualified conversations, which means our ads are not going to the right people. Our ads will burn out faster. Lower metrics, lower conversion rate over time. And let's see. The next thing we want to have is coming through here is like a story or a narrative to tell people that basically it's to say, hey, we understand your situation. We understand what you're going through. The negative situation that we talked about in the See More headline. And this story slash narrative is the second punch of our 1-2 punch. So we want to have it be kind of if we're like a third person camera person recording their life and kind of what's going on in it, so we can empathize with them. So that's punched, second punch or first punch is the See More headline. Second punch is the story narrative in the body copy. So that's why I call them the 1-2 punch, because punch one, the See More headline, is like meeting them at the conversation they're having in their brain to themselves, and then punch two is describing their actual life, what's going on in their life right now. And so we're getting way, way, way more specific than any other ad from any other boudoir photographer you're competing against. So then the result is them seeing us as the only option to solve their negative, give them their positive, overcome the hesitation slash roadblock. So that's punch one and punch two doing together. So we're missing that. Now the third and final mistake that could happen, well, what we want to see is we want to see our full offer in here, because the purpose of basically an ad or piece of content is to expose as many people expose as many people to our offer as possible. So you do got the full offer here. It's $200 holiday session, so it's a 1-hour shoot. They get 10 edited digital images, and it's a magical experience. Could add some more in there. Limited sessions available. Inquire now to reserve your spot. Paso Robles. Okay. But all right, you got a full offer in there. That's good. Hey, you're saying this is what I got. Do you want it or no? So that's good. So you're getting exposure to your offer, which means people will come through more qualified, be more worthwhile to have conversations with them. Less ghosting, less, price hunting, because I got the price right there. And if they don't like it, they'll just click on buy, which is good because then our meta ad algorithm will optimize to avoid those people that are going by and look at, kind of the data points they have in their profile for when it looks to who to send our ads to next. It's going to avoid the people that had similar meta profile attributes, data points. on their meta profiles for when it decides who to show our ads to next. So yeah, that's good. All right, so yeah, that will help you. Next thing we want to have, next thing for mistake 9, that could be mistake 9, is looking below the creative, the video or the photo here. We want to have no below creative headline and no button. 5% of the reason of that is down here, you know, basically when people are scrolling, they get here and their subconscious actually processed, kind of quick scan the words that were up in here. But now they're looking down here. And so if we have any words that are like not matching what we set up above, it's going to trigger the error detection network in their brain. It's going to signal incongruent, mixed message. They're going to be confused. I mean, they don't even think about it. This is automatic, and they're just going to keep scrolling by. But we want them to come back up, if they're scrolling fast, because we had relevant stuff to them. And so basically, we just always leave this blank because it's a much higher chance of being a negative than being, a positive or a boost to our ads. So that's 5% the reason. 15% of the reason is the below creative headline, description, all the stuff down here and the button makes it look more like an ad, which ties into mistake 1, looking like an ad, which results in less people consuming our ad copy and seeing our offer and getting pre-qualified. And then 80% the reason why we want nothing down here is because it's an invitation for them to click and take an action before clicking the see more, which is, see more is here to the right of the flower, for them to read our ad copy, get pre-qualified or not, filter out. But if they just come down here, click our button, click Instagram.com, start a conversation with us, they don't know our offer. So we're going to have fewer qualified conversations, more wasted time, more price hunters, more asking about the offer because they skipped reading it, more wasted ad spend. Our ads will not go to the right people, which means Meta will deem our ads trash, and so they'll burn out faster. But before they burn out, Meta will start sending to lower quality traffic, which forces our ads to burn out faster. So it's just kind of a downward spiral from making these mistakes. And then mistake number 10 is going to be the objective. So I do not know exactly what objective you're using, but you're using like a DM optimization. And so normally that's with an engagement objective, and that is an incorrect objective if you want sales, if you want conversations that don't lead to a sale. Okay, that's a fine objective to use, but I'm guessing you want to get some, money in for the money out you're spending on the ads. And the reason why is when we choose our objective, Meta kind of slices our audience. Your city audience is whatever, 500,000, a million. Meta slices that down to like a 6% pie, 6% slice. And that 6% slice is based on two things. One, which meta profiles like to DM from ads. And I've shown in the past they like to start conversations from ads. And two, kind of which profiles respond to ads with these keywords in them, or they've been saying in their conversations with their friends recently because the Meta microphone is always listening. So our ads are going to people that like to send DMs. So if you want DMs, cool. But there's nothing about buyer behavior, buyer data on those profiles. It's just DM data. So yeah, there's going to be a sprinkle of a few that DM and buy, but it's mostly going to be just DM and not buy. So a waste of time. We're going to think ads don't work. Facebook ads don't work for me. Nobody on Facebook has any money. No, but it's because kind of the cumulative effect of all these mistakes is our ads get low metrics from the jump, low front-end metrics, low back-end metrics, which means our ads have a low conversion rate, which tells Meta to send our ads to lower qualified prospects who convert even at a lower rate, and which means their ads go to even worse prospects. So it's just, a spiral downward of death. That's really what's going on. Um, and so, all right, so total mistakes here, let's score and then compare it kind of the general boudoir industry is, all right, so we got one mistake, two mistakes, and then three mistakes, and four mistakes, and five mistakes, and then six mistakes, and then seven mistakes, 7.5, and then, half a mistake for the mistake 10. So 7.5 out of 10 mistakes. The boudoir industry average is 8 out of 10 mistakes. So you're actually doing better than the average. So hey, that's good. Doing better than the average. Now, any boudoir Facebook or Instagram ad that has more than 2 out of 10 of these mistakes, I classify as a broken down boudoir ad. Broken down boudoir Facebook ad, whatever. Similar to like a broken down car. So it's not working right. It's broken down. Something's not right. Now, where do we bring a broken down car? We bring it to a car mechanic. And for a broken down boudoir ad, broken down boudoir Facebook ad, we bring it to, well, I got a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic offer. All right, so these 7.5 out of 10 mistakes, I actually squished them down into 5 different root cause problems that I can solve. Boudoir Facebook ads mechanic can solve. So first one would be making this look less like an ad. So that'd be the creative. So it's one root cause problem number 1. Yep, I can fix that. Or that's the first root cause problem. Need a better, see more headlines where 80% of marketing dollars are won or lost. So yeah, we got to have 4 specific attributes in there: a who, a negative, a positive, and a hesitation/roadblock that are tested for the women in your market. They're different for every market, and the data will tell us which ones we use. So that's root cause problem number 2. Root cause problem number 3, we need better body copy. We only got 1 out of the 3 sections here. So we're missing 2 out of the 3 sections. So yeah, that's root cause problem 3. Root cause problem 4. Well, you got to have a button for below the creative because it's the send message DM optimization. But yeah, we got to solve this as well. So it's root cause problem 4. And then potentially half of root cause problem 5, which would be the objective. So 4.5 out of 5 root cause problems you got, and yes, I can solve them all. So the way I can solve them is, I do $50 per root cause problem, or, well, yeah, $50 per root cause problem. You can choose them all, or kind of cherry pick. And I do this for your one ad, but you can take it to use on like future ads. Or option 2 is always the higher value option, which is we work together, basically do as many ads as you want, and you can collab with me as much as you want, and I do all your ads for you, all the fixes, start from scratch, create from scratch, whatever. $100 a month, cancel anytime. So that's probably better if you're gonna do a lot of ads or spend a lot of money on ads. That's probably the better value option. But yeah, so you got my IG. I did go looking for your phone. I didn't find nothing nor an email. So it looks like IG, hit me back there, or DM on whatever platform you're watching this video on. Could be honestly a different platform. If you want these 4.5 out of 5 root cause problems solved in your ads, so we can get more high-paying clients in, less wasted ad spend, or even same ad spend, but just better results. And then yeah, then once you hit me up, then I'll see what you got for me. All right, that's everything. Adios.